Well, good morning, everyone. It is Wayne back. It is Wednesday, June 24th, and there's been a change in the weather here. Today feels much different than yesterday, so our little bit of a roller coaster ride continues. It was quite humid yesterday, and as expected, the showers and thunderstorms developed earlier in the day than they did, I think, in previous day or so. And a lot of the stuff was done by the evening. Pretty good storm just north of me in the early afternoon. Had some hail and stronger winds and very heavy rain. We did get some rain here, and looks like dry weather now for today and tomorrow. Maybe only lower 80s today. Didn't really get that warm yesterday as far as temperature goes, or as high. I think it was only like 80 or so yesterday. Nice and cool in the evening after the rain. We're out with Hank and Naylor this morning for our morning walk down the lane. And not a cloud in the sky, it looks like. And the humidity's down, so it should be a nice day. Oh, there's a squirrel. And it's running into the woods because it knows Naylor's here, but Naylor won't catch it, even if I let him loose. So anyway, nothing else. Boring weather, I guess. Oh, there's a horn going off. I don't know if it's going down the one road or what, but as you can see, it's quiet again on the lane here, and haven't really seen the neighbors for a little while anyway. Oh, there's a butterfly going by, but so I don't know what they're up to. They may be out of town. They have grandkids north and south of here. They may be visiting. Grandsons will be here later today, spend the night, and then my wife and I will be out of town this weekend, as we're going to just go some places. I've been to Monticello before, and looking forward to going again. We're not going to go too far, but visit some historical place like that. And then there's James Madison place, which is down the road, 4th President of the United States. So go there too, and then some breweries and wineries, and maybe see a couple other places along the way, just to get out of town and enjoy. So it's not a trip like we took those years ago to Charleston, where we went farther away. But at least it's getting out of the way. This is not the original plan for this week. I think I said that earlier. Plans changed. We were supposed to go to New England this week, yesterday, spend a week up there. But we've had to put that trip off maybe till the fall, which might be actually better to go at that time of year. So, and I didn't realize at the time when we were starting to plan that trip that it would be World Cup time, and traffic and tourism in summer might be a pain to drive in the Northeast corridor. I mean, the drive up north through Washington and points north of there, especially Washington and Baltimore, it's a nightmare. I can remember we moved here, it wasn't so bad. It's really bad. The more they try to fix it, the worse it gets. The more money they spend on it, the worse it gets. There's just traffic and congestion and trucks. And it's just not a good traveling experience through there. Oh, I see the new neighbors are here. They come and go. I talk to them Apparently they're from New Jersey trying to move here. So they come and go. So maybe they're here for the rest of this week. I don't know what their status is as far as selling places or whatever up there. But it'll be noticeably cheaper here for them compared to New Jersey. So as you can see, there's not much going on. There's a slight breeze blowing. It feels pretty nice out here. So it won't be a hot day. Dogs won't mind. There they are. Hank's ready to chase a car. If I would let him, he would. But sorry, bud, there isn't anything to even get worked up about. This is unusual. We've gone several days now where we come out here and there's no traffic whatsoever. So I don't know if it's because it's summertime and not as many people are out, or maybe there's not a lot of people around. I don't know. But it's quiet, and that's the way I like it. So wouldn't give up the quiet, peaceful countryside over anything. Some of the conveniences aren't around, like can't just order food and it's here in a short period of time. Amazon doesn't deliver out here in 5 minutes after you order. But you get used to it. It's really not that big a deal or inconvenience. We don't live that far out. But anyway, so what's going to happen? I don't know. I said the grandsons will be here this evening, spend the night. They do so every so often. So I don't know what time they're coming. I'll have to check, but sometime this afternoon or early evening, I'm assuming. That's typical. I was kind of surprised they weren't here this morning. Hank, I know you want to get over there, but you're not getting in that area. I know you like to do that, so I don't let you in there. Now, someday I'll take a walk that's longer. These seem like boring walks. We used to walk all the way around up that road there, around the corner, and there's a church out there. We used to walk toward that, but we haven't done that in a while. Can be difficult sometimes with the two dogs walking that far, especially with Hank, because he gets a little rambunctious if he sees a car. So, I mean, he's not that big, but it can be a pain because he doesn't listen. And Naylor's pretty much doesn't care if a car goes by. So, other than that, I think we lost power for a few minutes yesterday. Didn't really affect anything. Did manage to get my freezer plugged in, and it's full of meat now. The other one is, like I said, was on its last leg. It's going to go to the graveyard of freezers once I get back. Do that next week or so. Been sitting in the garage for a little while. It defrosted last night. I put water all over the floor in the garage, which has dried up since that time. So that's done. Don't really have anything planned today. Did get the grass mowed the other day, so that's out of the way. And so that's about it for the chores. And see if there's any odds and ends that need done today. But other than that, it should be quiet. Maybe I'll get something in. Maybe I'll play a game or something. Haven't played on the Xbox in a while. I mean, really played on the Xbox. Other than dilly-dallying on it every once in a while. But to sit down and really play a game on it, I haven't done so. I'll probably do that after I get the college football game. But I don't know when I'm going to do that, and I don't know if I'm getting it for the Xbox or the computer. I think they can do more with it on the computer. As far as mods goes, I don't know how that will work, but I remember football games being on computers before, baseball games where you could mod rosters and things like that, graphics. So I don't know if that's going to be able to do. But at least there's an option, and I haven't decided. I do like playing on the Xbox because I like sitting there and just sitting in my easy chair and controller in hand, and not really at a small screen or desk. I've sat at a desk long enough in my life. I don't need to be sitting at it anymore. I mean, I do sit at the desk every so often, but not as much as I used to. So I'm torn as to which one or what to do. I may wait to see if my sons get something. I don't know if they'll get the computer version or the Xbox or PlayStation version. So I'm in no hurry. I'm playing 25, and I have my 3-year Penn State dynasty going on, and surprisingly going well with my 5-star freshman quarterback. He makes mistakes. Well, it's a computer, but he makes mistakes just like any freshman would do. But it's going well. Recruiting is. I used to be into recruiting a lot on these video games, but I sometimes just sim it just to get it over with so I can play a game. But I used to be very into roster building and team building and things like that on all my games. Baseball, soccer, hockey, and football, but not anymore. I just want to play. I just want to sit there, get the controller, turn it on, and play a game. And same way with the other stuff. Just give me some cards, some dice, score sheet, and I'll play. I learned how to keep score for these sports a long time ago, and I enjoy doing it. It's relaxing. I don't need a computer program to keep score of a baseball game. I know some people like that, but I find it relaxing to do it myself. It does take a little longer sometimes to do a baseball game like that, or a football game, or any game, but it is rewarding, at least in my mind, for quietness and enjoyment. But it does use some paper. Sometimes I print out the score sheets. Sometimes I just write them on a little book that I have or something like that. But so I don't necessarily need the computer stuff. Don't keep a lot of seasonal stats and things like that, or dynasties or anything. I pretty much just a game player. I like playing games. Although I just started the Cal Ripken rookie season, 1982, in Pocket Pennant Run. I'll probably play that and a couple other games that I have, and see how that goes. And like I said before, in previous times, I prefer the old seasons. I prefer even football, hockey, any of the basketball. It's not because I want to go back to my childhood. No, I prefer the style of play. I prefer the rivalries, the names, the history. I think a lot of that is gone today in sports. There's no, loyalty. It's all about money, and how rich you can get. The TV contracts are ridiculous. The holding, or you can't watch a game in your local area because of blackouts, things like that. When I was a kid, you could watch any, for example, any Orioles baseball game. I could listen to it, could watch any of them. Now the number of games available in these sports was smaller than it is now, but at least I got to watch the team that I had, interest in. And I could, pay attention to teams like that. And I could still see a fair amount of teams around the country in all the sports because, NBC Game of the Week or ABC Monday Night Football or college football during Saturday, things like that. So there was at least that. Not like it is now, but at least you could do that back then. But anyway, so it's changed a lot. I prefer the simpler way, the older way. I like the rivalries that we had back then, You know, there was nothing like a Cowboys-Steelers football game, or Raiders-Steelers, or Redskins and Cowboys, you know, Orioles-Yankees, you know, stuff like that. You know, you look forward to those type of games, and some of that's missing today. And you know, I can understand the money thing to a certain extent for players and stuff, but loyalty, and you know, Ripken played for the same team his whole career. Stuff like that. It's hard to find players like that now in any of the sports. So some of that stuff is gone. I still say the golden age of sports. I tell my sons that, especially when they were younger. The golden age of sports was you know, the 70s and 80s, as far as all that stuff that I'm talking about. So that's just the way I see it. You know, I could rattle off statistics back then. I could rattle off players, all sorts of information back in those days. And now I really don't know the new players, the current players. I mean, I was looking back through some baseball statistics last evening, and I couldn't believe the number of 100-win teams that have been since like 2010 in baseball. I wasn't aware of that many. So I was like, really? They won over 100 games? And there were like 3 of them in a season? I wasn't really paying attention, I guess, to it that much. So, but you go back to the 70s and 80s, and I could rattle off all that statistical stuff. Who led the league? Who hit the home runs? Who was the best team? Who was best pitchers? Best second baseman, or you know, the best quarterback, or you know, what did this running back do this week, or whatever. So I don't know those statistics or that stuff now, even though I do watch. But I mean, I don't even follow Penn State football as much as I used to, college football for that matter. So a lot has changed in that. So but yeah, you know, that's the way life goes, I guess. So I just have my little world where I play my games, and I enjoy playing them. I just pick up a game and I'm like, oh, I'll play 1975 blah 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 against blah blah blah, or whatever, and I enjoy it. And that's, I guess, the best thing. You know, sometimes I modify a little the rules, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, and things like that. So, other than that, I will go up the lane here to the house and let the hounds. Hi, Nailer. Nailer, look here. He ain't listening. And Hank, and get this day going and see what we're doing. So, enough for now, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.